All right, live look this morning from our Lewiston Skycam. Obviously, it's snowing right there. Check out the flag. If you look real closely in the lower left-hand corner of your screen, that flag is whipping. Winds right now gusting over 40 miles per hour from many towns. In fact, a new update, Portland now is gusting to 53 miles per hour. So, heavy snow, strong gusty winds equal blizzard conditions, and that will continue for the next several hours. I'm getting a few new snowfall totals in. Gorham now is up to 31.4 inches of snow, and this updated at 5 o'clock. Just got a call from Sean in Kennebunk. He's up to 23 inches of snow, heavy bands over Kennebunk. We're looking at snowfall rates around 1 to 3 inches per hour. All right, here's your Doppler HD, and this is the reason why here. We're looking at the darker shades of blue indicating those heavier bands of snow. Let's zoom in a little bit closer to a few of those. Notice southern zones. That's what Sean was talking about with Kennebunk, that dark shade of blue, and it's right over us in Portland as well. That extends north up to about Lewiston and Auburn. Heading down to the Mid-Coast, Brunswick, Bath, you're in it as well. This also down through Biddeford and Saco as well. Now heading over toward the Mid-Coast, Rockland's more of a moderate snowfall for you. Augusta, Waterville, you're into a heavy snow band at this point. Lighter snow as you head back in the mountains. I got a call from Paula in Andover. She only picked up a few more inches. She said about 3 inches during the overnight hours, and the winds are not quite as strong up there as well. The blizzard warning remains in effect until 4 o'clock in the afternoon today. It's the combination of the heavy snow and the strong gusty winds. We're looking at winter storm warnings over the interior. Something we haven't talked too much about so far yet is the coastal flood warning. This went into effect at 4 a.m. and continues through 2 o'clock in the afternoon. A high tide is expected around 10 o'clock this morning, or just before 10 a.m., and significant flooding is expected at the time of high tide. So let's run that down. This is about 9:54 a.m. The storm tide is expected to be around 13 feet. Just to put into perspective for you, in the Great Patriots Day nor'easter, we had 13.3 feet for a tide. So significant flooding is expected. Seas out in the open water, 20 to 30 feet. So yes, significant flooding appears to be in the cards here. Okay, top 8 snowfalls. I showed you these just a few minutes ago. I want to draw your attention to that one right there. This storm has been compared very closely to the great 1969 storm, February 10th, 1969. That was actually followed by a 2-day snowstorm just a week later. 69 was a big snow year around here. And this one's also been compared to the 1979 storm, 27.1 inches. Also the 78 storm. This was the Portland Press-Herald the morning of the 69 storm. Let me step out of the way. Portland digs out under 24 inches of snow officially in Portland. We had about 21 inches of snow that day. This is some video from the great 1978 blizzard. That right there is the pier at Old Orchard Beach, and this storm was the demise of the end of the pier at Old Orchard Beach. If you remember that one, the pier actually used to be a little bit longer, but the storm destroyed that. There was significant flooding in that storm. This is the scene at Camp Ellis, of course, that in 1978 with a lot of snow and a lot of wind. Speaking of a lot of snow, we have that out there this morning. 31 inches now up in Gorham. Now, it all depends on where you measure, I think. We could see snow drifts 4 feet in some areas, and some of the grassy surfaces, I wouldn't be shocked to see about 5 inches in areas. But Sean in Kennebunk's reporting 23 inches there. And Limington, these snowfall totals drop off a little bit, down to about a foot. Kathy in Augusta just called in with about 12 inches of snow. She has some heavier bands moving in there as well. So it all depends on where you are. If you're not in these heavy bands of snow, like areas like Andover, areas like Augusta has not been in the heavy snow until about 3 o'clock in the morning or so. You're just starting to get into it. But this area along the coastline, coastal plain, we're seeing our heaviest bands move through right now. As just mentioned, 53 miles per hour in Portland. That is the peak wind gust of the day so far. Heading up into Lewiston, gusts to about 40 miles per hour, 40 in Sanford as well. That's giving us a wind chill about 10 below. Not only is it snowing, not only is it whiteout conditions, blizzard conditions out there, but we're also talking about very cold conditions out there. Our area of low pressure is east of Cape Cod, and based on just a quick look at this, it looks like the low is a little bit further north than it actually should be. So that may be one of the reasons why we're seeing some extreme heavy bands producing snowfall totals of around 30 inches plus. So a few areas should get 30 plus inches, and we should come close to some records here in Portland. We'll have to watch those snowfall measurements. Blizzard conditions continue. This is 7 o'clock in the morning. Let's head through the afternoon. You might be wondering, okay, Charlie, when's this all going to wind down? Probably about late morning or so, we'll see the snow start to lighten up a little bit. At least those heavy bands start to move out. Then the snow tapers, the snow showers late in the day. This is actually 8 o'clock in the evening. We're seeing the snow end. We're seeing some sunshine, some clearing make an appearance. And yes, we will see some sunshine tomorrow. Heavy bands of snow. This is 8 o'clock in the morning. We're seeing the snow lighten up at about 1:30 in the afternoon. Temps staying in the teens. Wind chills will stay below 0, though. Notice some clearing is expected around 9 o'clock this evening. We can actually start to dig ourselves out at this point. Temps on Sunday will be rather nice. Maybe outdoor plans. Maybe you want to do some skiing, drag the kids around in the sled. I think we're in pretty good shape. Temps will be in the upper 20s to near 30 degrees, and we'll enjoy a well-deserved sunny day tomorrow. Okay, snowfall totals. Measuring snow is an adventure out there, isn't it? We're looking at areas over northern sections here. Remember, there was only 3 inches last night up in Andover in this area, about 10 to 16 inches here, and those snowfall totals drop off significantly north. Lewiston, you're about to 16 to 24. This goes up to Augusta. Augusta's reporting 12 inches right now, but it's in this corridor. Remember, Gorham is right there. Gorham is reporting 31 inches right now, and Sean and Kennebunk's reporting over 20 inches as well. Portland is not reporting yet, but in this corridor, I expect 20 to 26 plus. There are a few spots that may get upwards of 30 inches of snow, as we're seeing in a few of those reports right now. So, yes, it's the first time in a long time I've used that icon, Blizzard, for a 1-day on a 7-day forecast. Look for lots of sun on Sunday. Monday looks to be a wintry mix changing to rain. In the longer range forecast, things actually look storm-free, guys, for the middle to end portion of next week. But people don't really care about the 7-day forecast on a day like today. I think they want to know, when's this mayhem going to end, I think. And that will start to wind down this afternoon.
So Connecticut is reporting some places 34 inches. So are those bands coming up to us, or is it not that north-south path?
Yeah, well, those bands that affected Connecticut are basically the same bands that have moved into our area. So they affected them last night, and now the storm itself is just east of Cape Cod right now. So we're actually going to see it pivot its way through and eventually start to pull off to the east today. And I think we're in the worst of the storm right now. This is the worst of our storm.
Well, we know that it is a very serious situation as far as the roads and accidents, but